Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving into something that literally dictates how we feel every single day, the immune system. Our goal here is to bypass all the noise and look at the real science of how our holistic, daily habits fundamentally shape our immunity.
So let me ask you, how do your daily habits actually shape your immune system? We live in a world that is totally obsessed with the magic pill mindset, right? We want the instant cure, the overnight fix. But biology just doesn't work like that. The reality is that what you eat, how you sleep, how you move, and even how you manage your stress, those are the true architects of your internal defenses.
Okay, let's dive into this. Instead of focusing on quick fixes or single nutrients, we're really looking at the bigger picture here. Just popping a vitamin C tablet when you're already sneezing, it's not the whole story. To truly empower ourselves, we need to focus on the long-term, everyday habits that build an unshakable foundation for our health and energy levels.
To get to the bottom of this, we're pulling our insights directly from a fantastic episode of the New Image International podcast. We're going to unpack their expert breakdown on how diet, lifestyle, and your microbiome all work together. We'll use their findings to map out exactly how your immune function and your overall well-being are completely intertwined.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at your internal security system. Second, the gut-immune connection. Third, fueling your defenses. And fourth, the power of daily habits.
All right, part one, your internal security system, the alarm and intelligence unit. To really grasp the biology here, I want you to think of your immune system like a massive, complex internal security network. And it's got two main departments. First, you have innate immunity. This is your immediate general defense, kind of like the building alarm. It reacts super fast and really loudly the second it detects a threat. Then you've got adaptive immunity. This is your intelligence unit. It's highly specialized, using things like T cells, B cells, and antibodies. And what's amazing is it actually learns and remembers past threats, so it can respond even more effectively the next time around.
Now, the absolute key here is balance. And this brings us to a really cool concept called immune system modulation. It's basically how your system regulates itself. Because think about it, you don't want that building alarm going off constantly, right? That overreaction is what leads to chronic inflammation. But on the flip side, you definitely don't want the security guards falling asleep on the job either, leaving you vulnerable to infections. So the real magic happens in regulation, keeping everything humming along right in that optimal sweet spot.
Moving on to part two, the gut-immune connection, the training ground.
Let's zoom in on the micro level for a second. Trillions, trillions. That is a mind-boggling number, isn't it? Your gut microbiome is not just some simple digestive tube. It's a thriving, bustling ecosystem made up of trillions of microorganisms. And these tiny residents aren't just hitching a ride, they are actively and constantly interacting with your immune cells. Now, what's really fascinating here is the gut immune axis. Your gut and your immune system are intimately connected. The signals that start in your digestive tract don't just stay there. They actually influence immune activation and inflammation across your entire body. We're talking everything from your blood cells all the way to your lymphatic system. When your gut is supported, your whole body's defense network is on high alert.
You can basically think of your microbiome as this high-tech training ground for your immune system. These microbes literally teach your body how to tell the difference between something totally harmless, like an apple, and a real pathogenic threat. A diverse, balanced microbiome produces compounds that boost local defense mechanisms, which gives you a much sharper, smarter immune awareness overall.
Which brings us to part three, fueling your defenses, nutrition as a key driver.
Okay, so now that we know where the training happens, how do we actually fuel the troops? Well, what you eat is literally the raw material your immune system uses to build and maintain itself. Vitamins A, C, D, and E, they aren't just marketing buzzwords, they are structurally essential for immune cell development. Then you have minerals like zinc and selenium, which your body physically needs to produce antibodies. And omega-3 fatty acids are a huge deal because they actively help regulate that inflammatory response we were talking about, keeping everything balanced and your lymphocyte activity optimal.
But actually, scratch that. We need to reframe how we think about this entirely. It's really not about obsessing over one specific superfood. It's your overall dietary pattern that actually moves the needle. The data shows us that diets rich in plant-based foods consistently lower inflammatory markers, and that's largely because of how they positively feed that gut microbiome we just discussed. On the flip side, diets heavy in processed foods reliably crank up inflammation over time. It's the consistent, everyday pattern that wins.
Let's look at Part 4, the power of daily habits, building long-term resilience.
All right, let's pull the lens all the way back out. Because beyond what is on your plate, your lifestyle habits are the absolute ultimate system maintenance. Physical activity is vital. It literally pumps your blood, improving circulation so those immune cells can patrol your body efficiently. Sleep is absolutely critical. I mean, that's when your immune system regulates itself, supporting cytokine activity and adapting to new threats. And stress, well, chronic stress is a massive disruptor. It completely scrambles the communication lines between your immune cells. Doing simple things, like breathing exercises or just getting outside, can profoundly protect this delicate balance.
We really need to remember that inflammation isn't evil. It's a completely natural, necessary response to an injury or a threat. The problem only pops up when that inflammation becomes prolonged and excessive, like it just forgets how to turn itself off. That's when it starts doing real damage to our health. Relying on good lifestyle choices is what ensures your immune system knows exactly when to activate and, just as importantly, when to switch off.
What all of this illustrates is that supporting your immunity doesn't require you to completely overhaul your life with some extreme, confusing regimen. It really just comes down to 4 basic practical steps. Step 1, eat a balanced diet with whole foods. Step 2, keep your body physically active. Step 3, prioritize getting enough sleep. And Step 4, actively manage your stress levels. These are the daily inputs that directly program your microbiome and your immune cells.
So, the biggest takeaway here is that your immune system does not exist in isolation. It's intricately wired into your gut, your diet, your lifestyle, and your environment. Everyday choices matter exponentially more than any short-term supplement or crash diet. It's those small, consistent habits that really compound over time to build true, long-term biological resilience. So I want to leave you with a final thought to reflect on today. Knowing that your immune system is essentially a reflection of how you live, are your everyday choices building long-term resilience? Remember, consistency always trumps extremes. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep focusing on those simple, sustainable habits, and as always, stay curious.